This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. Back again. Gosh, here it is, midway through January. Oh my.
So I messaged Phil Grecian and I said, Phil, we want to do a segment on around Kansas about you. And I said, you know, the way all the talented people are conking off, we figured we better grab you quick.
Oh my.
He was so flattered too.
Yes, I've known Phil for many years, so.
You know you can't insult him, right? That's so.
So, in fact, we're Facebook buddies and all of that, so anyway.
Yeah, well, he's been around for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Phil's an amazing, really an amazing career. And it's funny because people like Phil, you know, he's around, so you kind of take for granted that, you know, you don't expect to just be bumping into genius every day, you know what? But Phil has an amazing resume of things that he has accomplished.
But, you know, one of the most favorite things that I like to see Phil do is when he does Mark Twain.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he has Mark Twain down.
That's amazing.
And of course, I mean, I love Mark Twain anyway. I love his humor and all of that. But, you know, now that Phil has aged a little bit, he doesn't have to paint on as many lines. Gotcha, Phil. But anyway, he's just amazing with that.
Aren't you honored that we did this, Phil? Let's take a look.
To document Phil Grecian's long and distinguished career in theater would take reams of paper or hours of airtime. Yet, even if we did list his numerous accomplishments and his more than 100 awards, it would not do him justice. His creativity, his spontaneity, the pure joy of being in his company cannot be conveyed in a mere couple of minutes. But we'll try. Phil has been involved in more than 300 dramatic productions, either as a producer, director, writer, designer, or actor. He is often called upon to serve as an MC with KTWU's fundraising activities. KTWU is the public TV station on Washburn's campus. Phil served as an adjunct professor in the mass media department for several years. As a published playwright, there have been more than 3,000 productions of his original works and stage adaptations throughout the nation. Among them, some of the most beloved stories: It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, The Velveteen Rabbit, and A Christmas Carol. Phil has been entrusted to bring these classics to life on stage. Phil began performing professionally, says he, at age 4, performing magic tricks. By the time he was a teenager, he helped found the Playhouse in the Park, later the Helen Hocker Theater. He left to attend KU and then returned to serve as the artistic director. Phil also founded IHS Productions in 1994. This company presents a touring production of his play In His Steps every 18 months, based upon the 1896 best-selling novel by Charles Sheldon. Phil has a long-running relationship with Dale Easton's The Drunkard, from painting sets to starring in and directing the popular play. His Mark Twain on Tour began during the tenure with Creed Colorado Repertory Company in 1967. The one-man show continues to date, playing towns in Missouri, Kansas, and Colorado. The performance currently touring under the auspices of the Kansas Arts Commission. Amidst these pursuits and so many more, Phil has been lauded by his peers. Among the accolades heaped upon him are the National Telly Awards, the local Art Connects Award, the Emmy for Dracula, Theater of the Mind, a live televised radio studio-style production with KTWU, and which Phil wrote, co-produced, directed, and acted. He remains humble, okay, maybe not humble, but certainly grateful for his career, and proudest of his kids, one of whom, Alex, is a best-selling novelist. Phil was surprised to learn in one of Alex's interviews that he was inspired by his dad. Phil said that if anything about his life had surprised him, it was that he had been able to earn a living as a playwright. It isn't easy, though Phil makes it seem so. Fort Wallace stood on the frontier in the midst of the Plains Indians Wars on a major stage route and rail line. Beside the 1865 stagecoach station, a modern museum with thousands of artifacts tell that story, like the fossil of a 40-foot plesiosaur is suspended from the ceiling. Located on Highway 40 midway between Hayes and Colorado Springs, the Fort Wallace Museum is as welcome a sight today as the fort itself in the 1860s. Discover the fightingest fort in the West.